Hello, good evening to everybody out there, all those in the gallery tonight, out there in Facebook land, in Twitch land. Good evening to yet another Wednesday night's Open Mic Magic show, streaming live from here in the UK and with our magicians all around the globe. So, except for the flat earthers who fell off the edge somewhere. Right, getting straight into the show with our first fantastic performer. Welcome to my now good friend. I've known him for a while, so I can call him a friend and a good one. Alan Fisher, over to you, mate.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so very much. It is a pleasure to be kicking off tonight what is going to be a fantastic show with a great lineup of talent and a spectacular interview in the middle. So we're like the Oreo cookie of online magic shows tonight. You got magic here, you got magic here, and that nice soft gooey part in the middle is going to be a special guest. And he probably doesn't like being called that, but that's all right. I don't care. I have a little special magic, something that I'd like to try tonight. See, we're the magicians. We're always the ones doing the magic. Kevin, I'd like to have someone from the gallery randomly picked to actually be the magician tonight. And they'll do the magic instead of me.
Right, I'll have you a quick look at the gallery. And who would like to be the magician? Stick your hand up. And then actually, Jill, our resident muggle, has just entered the room. So I'm sure
wonderful.
Jill would love to be your... Jill, you've just arrived into audio connecting. So Jill will hear us in a second. There we go. There's Jill. Jill, would you like to join Alan? You've just entered the room. Join Alan and be a magician tonight. Yes, Jill would say yes. So Stu will bring Jill in.
Wonderful.
As Zoom is behaving itself. Yeah, there we go.
Hello, Jill. There you are.
Hello.
Hello, you're looking wonderful.
Thank you.
Jill, normally, and I'm going to switch to my other camera so that we get the table here to be able to see the cards. Now, in magic, one of the great effects is the magician finds the 4 aces. That's always a big, important trick. I'm going to start by finding the 4 kings, and then you are going to use some magic to find the 4 matching queens. I know you can do it because you're wearing that wonderful purple cloak of magicity that is going to help you. But first, let me find the 4 kings. I will find the 4 kings. I didn't say it would be magical. I'm finding the 4 kings. See, you are doing the magic tonight, not me. And here we go. I have 4 kings. We'll just lay them out here. Boom, boom, boom. Now, your magic purple cloak is going to give you the power. We're going to steal some from your purple cloak. We're going to put it into the cards. We're going to take it from the cards and put it back into you and your purple cloak. I think you're ready. You've been seeing these shows for a long time. You are Miss Magic to us, and this is going to be spectacular. Jill, I'm going to count backwards from 10 to 1 as I deal cards on the table. You just stop me at whatever number you want. It's that simple. Let your intuition just kick in and feel the right time to stop me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
Stop.
4. Stop.
4.
All right, then 1, 2, 3, 4. That is going to be your first selection. We'll do it 4 more times, or 3 more times, excuse me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're stopping on 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Oh, I'm getting something off the cards. I think you're doing an excellent job, Jill. Far better than you think. I have a sensation. Anyway, we'll keep going. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. All right, the last time. 10, 9.
Stop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, Jill, I said your object was to use the magic powers of your cloak. Feel the power of the cards transferring through the internet to try to find the 4 queens. But at the very beginning, I did mention the classic effect for magicians. The yardstick for how good a magician is finding the 4 aces. And I have a sneaky suspicion, my dear, that you are an excellent magician tonight. For
Oh,
you
wow.
found the 4 aces. Not only that, let me stick these up here, because I said your goal, your project, was to find the 4 queens. And Jill, my dear, you have done just that. You found the queens, you found the aces, but better than that, because you are so spectacular, you found the jacks, and you found the 10s, so that you dealt 4 perfect straight flushes, the ultimate in poker, coming from you, Jill, the mistress of magic, the queen who reigns upon our little show here. Thank you so much for sharing
Oh,
your
thank
magic
you.
with us tonight.
I'm going
You
to go
were
and play
spectacular.
poker now. Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you. Fabulous performance from Jill. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah. And I think Alan was there in the background doing something while then. Thanks, Alan. Thanks for popping in and seeing us. The Jill Show. Right. Okay. Staying in the USA and to out Texas, and to our very good friend who lives in a world of silk, flowers, and classic magic, Robina. Lovely. Thank you, Robina, from deep in the heart of Texas. Thanks very much. Lovely stuff. Right, so we're jumping onto the Gulf Stream and winging our way over to the UK, and then going up the UK and taking a sharp turn to the left and into the in between Ireland and the UK, or England and Ireland, is the Isle of Man. A lovely little place, and our resident spooky guy, Michael Kelly, lives there. Hi there, Michael.
Hello, Kevin. Well, I've been reading a book lately. This book here. It's called Netherwood. And Netherwood in Hastings was the boarding house where probably the 20th century's most notorious occultist, Aleister Crowley, spent his last days. And it's a fascinating book. And what I like about it, they put this little wraparound around the cover, which quotes an Amazon review, which reads, "Do not buy this book. Nothing good will come from reading it." Maybe that's true. Maybe that explains the lightning strike we had here yesterday, which blew my router up so I couldn't appear on Tommy's show. But anyway, it got me thinking. This box here is my little repository of some Aleister Crowley memorabilia. And I'd just like to share a couple of those bits with you. If I can have a volunteer's voice, please, Karen. I don't. Anybody like to plunge into these archives with me?
Let's have a look. Oh, Paul Cooper's got his hands up.
Okay, Paul.
Hi, can you hear me, Michael?
I can hear you perfectly, thank you.
Excellent.
Well, I've got a pack of the Major Arcana of the Tarot here, and we'll give those a bit of a shuffle in a moment. And I've also got this old postcard, and it shows some old houses in Boscastle down in Cornwall. And let me give these just a brief shuffle first, get them mixed up. Now this postcard it's a copy of an original which is in the Museum of Witchcraft down there in Boscastle, which used to be here on the Isle of Man long ago, back in the 1950s. And it was sent by a gentleman called William Pigwigan to his friend Aleister Crowley. So what I'd like, Paul, is for you to choose any place in the deck to slip this in.
Okay, they'll do. That's good.
This one here?
That's fine, yeah. Thanks, Michael.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll pop it in there. And what we'll do, if we have a look at it now, as is the way with postcards, they need to be addressed to somebody. And if we have a look, you can see that it is addressed to Aleister Crowley in Hastings, and it has a message on it here as well. Now, if we dispose of all of the cards, except for the one above and below, and we'll put these here and read the message. To my dearest friend, I, William Pigwigan, predict that the Empress and the Emperor are totally inseparable. And here we have the Empress.
Ah, yes.
And the Emperor.
The Emperor. Excellent.
Totally inseparable. And of course, all of the others are just the standard cards of a Major Arcana deck. But let's have a look at a prediction that Crowley himself made using a particularly beautiful set of tarot cards. It's one of the most beautifully illustrated decks I've seen. And you know, they're all different. I'll give them a quick mix. Just to what we're going to do here, Paul, we need 4 cards to provide a reading. So if I run my nail down here, I'd like you to shout stop 4 times.
Okay, stop.
This one here?
I can't see it, but
Oh, sorry, this one here or the one after?
that'll do. Yep.
Okay, we'll put that one there. And we'll carry on from the same place.
Okay, let's stop there then.
This is the second one.
Okay.
Okay. And we need 2 more.
So stop there then, Michael. Yeah.
Stop on this one. Okay. And a final one.
Final one. Go on a bit and towards the end. And let's stop there, shall we?
This one here.
Okay.
Okay. So we have the 4 that we're going to read. And also we have the prediction, because I mentioned there was a prediction. This was typed many years ago by Crowley's secretary in the house at Netherwood. And the curious thing about it is that ever since when that note is produced, the tarot cannot fail to produce the same reading. It's almost like it's engraven in fate now. So, stick that over there. As you see, it's quite a detailed thing, but the last months for you have been trying indeed, with you facing what would appear to have been an uphill struggle, as everything you work towards seemed to distance itself from ultimate completion, as signified by the devil, if you can see that. And the first card you've drawn is the devil. In the midst of this apparent chaos, you seem to develop an inward doubt and feelings of self-consciousness with a fear and trepidation for the unknown, represented by the Wheel of Fortune in red there. And the second card you chose was the Wheel of Fortune.
The Wheel of Fortune, yes.
The next 2 months sees a world of change and new challenges taking you to greater heights, allowing you to take on the world with a greater insight. You will be able to implement new skills and take on a new and challenging role, allowing you to expand into different and diverse areas signified by the Magician. The Magician. A new career move is on the horizon. On a social and personal level, a development in your relationship status takes an interesting and positive turn, allowing you more success than you expected. Love is in the air, as the 2 of Cups demonstrates. The 2 of Cups. And the reading concludes. Your financial situation improves as an unexpected windfall comes to you, allowing you to develop some of your current and long-held aspirations. You may opt to travel in the coming 2 to 3 months. That allows furtherment in your spiritual growth and outlook. Overall, I can see you having a more prosperous year ahead, and in many ways, a much more productive and satisfying new year, in contrast to this previous year.
Thank you very much.
But as we say, it always follows the pattern that the old boy set. And maybe having satiated him in this way, I'll be spared any future thunderbolts. Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Wonderful, as always. Michael Kelly. Right, so part of the evening I've been really looking forward to. As you can probably tell from my my tarot there, that I'm fond of Lewis Carroll, and he once wrote, "The time has come," the walrus said, "to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot and where the pigs have wings." Now, we probably won't chat about any of that, but we will talk of many things with my guest tonight, the magic legend that is Scott Wells. Hi, Scott. It's an absolute privilege to have you on our show. I've been looking forward to this for weeks, and I don't have a martini in hand, so let's hope a virtual one
will appear.
will
Just
appear.
like
There we go.
that.
There we go. I have a virtual martini. I will just can't take it.
Well,
Right.
whatever you do, best cheers to you.
Cheers.
Hmm.
And hopefully a few people out there grab their martinis. Right, Scott. So the usual question people ask at the beginning of something like this, and you're usually this side of the microphone because of
Yes.
what you do.
You've
is-
turned the tables on me there.
Yeah. How did you get into magic as a youngster? But I mean, the usual question, the usual answer is, I was given a magic set. But I think you took a slightly different route to magic.
I did, through the Boy Scouts, exactly
Yeah,
right. I
yeah.
was working as a scoutmaster, and there was another scoutmaster in a nearby troop who I went to a camporee and they showed me some rope tricks, and you always have a hank of rope available. I call it Hank. Some people call it Henry of rope. Anyhow, so I had a hank of rope handy, so I would start to do some tricks for the boys. And as I did, I realized that they were paying attention instead of running around. So I realized what a good disciplinary tool magic could be. So I went back to this guy, learned some more tricks. And then once I was transferred with the job I was working in at the time from Illinois to Oklahoma, and I went by a magic shop then to buy a book on rope tricks. Well, the guy there showed me some things with sponge balls. Never seen sponge balls before. And it just kind of opened my world. And then that led to some other things. I wanted to learn the linking rings. And the guy who was the dealer did not do the linking rings, but my wife purchased for me Vernon's Symphony of the Rings book. And so I learned that, and I came back and I ended up demonstrating that. Every time I went to the shop, they said, "Scott, why don't you show this guy?" And they always sold a set of rings whenever I performed the set, the routine. And in the first contest that I had entered, in fact, I remember I was doing that Vernon's Symphony of the Rings. I ended up losing that year to my dear friend Ralph Markham here in Texas, the late departed Markham. Anyhow, so I didn't mind losing to him. That was my first convention and first contest. I assumed when you go to a convention, you're supposed to compete. I thought that was part of the deal. But anyhow. So yes, it was the Boy Scouts.
Hey, we got that. One of our performers, Robina, loves the linking rings, and she does a fabulous presentation of that as well. So it's classic of magic. And
I boiled mine down to what I perform regularly now is just Whit Hayden's 4-ring routine. It's just now, I think, a classic of magic, and I've got a nice routine that I do with that. And so that's part of my my act. A lot of times, even with adults, I don't do children's shows very often. When I'm doing family shows, I always do, but I also occasionally will include that with some adults as well, because that is Whit Hayden's got a great routine there.
you'll see where this conversation is going when I bring up that picture.
There's my buddy Simon.
Yeah, Simon Lovell. So he was your route to what you have become globally known for.
Yeah, I have so much to thank Simon for, because of our close friendship over the years and the hours and days and hours we've spent together in his home in New York and in the bars in New York and other places that we have hung out. And anyhow, we were one time in New York, hanging out at a bar, and it was in the afternoon, and we were there for a few hours. And I remember after about the second or third hour, we had not even taken out a card from the deck, hadn't even started talking about tricks yet. And Simon said, I think what we have been talking about is really the important meat of what magicians need to know and need to hear. I think this would have made for a great lecture. Had there been an audience sitting out there and listening to our conversation, they would have learned a lot just from this, because we all know enough tricks. It's a matter of what to do with the tricks and how to market it, how, the theory behind it, why you do it, how to entertain the presentation, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought that's a great idea. And that kind of sat and boiled with me for a while until I kind of got to the boiling point, from simmering to boiling, and decided that, yeah, that's what essentially my podcast has become, from the standpoint that it's just conversations with conjurers who 85 to 90% of the conversations I have are people who I have known or worked with over the years. And as a result, we just have good conversations that will lead to talking about some of the important things having to do with character development or marketing or social media or whatever it is that is interesting, that people can learn from by listening. So it's not just getting to know my guests and myself, but also learning magic. So it's not just entertainment, but it's educational. Just by virtue of, by talking long enough, we kind of come around to something that people can learn from. If you don't mind me ending a sentence with a preposition.
Yeah, you can then just, what? I'm not going to do the obvious joke. I
know where you're going.
How long has the magic word been going? I think people will be amazed when you say this.
Sure. Well, we're coming up in August. I think it was August the 10th or the 11th that I started back in 2011. So it's coming up on completing 11 years. And wow. I have just completed episode 695. And so when I go to FISM, I'm going to have 6 more episodes there. What I like to do is over the last every 50 episodes, I like to consider that a milestone. So I'm going to have episode 700 featuring Mike Caveney. So it'll kind of not a spoiler alert, but at least something to look forward to, that what's coming up. And I'm going to be, unfortunately, having to renumber a couple of these because I'll have, as I said, I'll be in FISM. So it'll be like 697, 98, 99, 701, 702. And then the following week, I'll post 700 with Mike. But in the past, yeah, every 50 I've had, I think for number 500, I had Uri Geller. I've had, I think David Berglis was 600, I believe. And Mike Hammer, I think, was 650. Anyhow, so yeah, I've had different people who have, I think I had Tom Mullica, maybe is 400 or something. So every 50 episodes or so. People often ask how they can find some of the people I talk to in the archives, and the domain provider I use, which is Squarespace, it will only allow me to post. Well, sorry, I've got too many episodes, so they can't archive it. So I have to keep going back and updating that, and then it lasts for a day or two, and then they'll take that down because it just takes up too much bandwidth, I guess, because there are hot links to go back to some of these. The best tool, I often say, if you're interested in somebody, I don't care, Johnny Thompson or Paul Daniels or whomever, just to type in, there's a search engine, there's a search bar on themagicwordpodcast.com. And if you type the name of somebody or a particular trick or location, put in Blackpool or something like that, there'll be, it'll populate and have links taking you to some of those.
Oh, that sounds really good. Right. Taking a little break, we're just going to pop over to Vegas for a second.
Oh.
Hello, boys and girls. Banachek coming to you from my stage here at the Strat Theater in Las Vegas, where I have my residency. We're going on in about 11 minutes from now, but I wanted to get this out because I would be remiss if I did not recognize Scott for the incredible human being that he is. I've known Scott since I was a teenager, and if it wasn't for Scott, I probably wouldn't have put out many of my classics like PK Touches or the silverware betting that's out there that everybody does. That's right, you have Scott Wells to blame for that. Also, the amount of interviews that Scott has done, the amount of promoting of magic that he's done behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. Scott, we need more people like you promoting magic and putting it in a positive light. I'm so happy you're getting recognized. Thank you, my friend. Love you.
Wow. That's fantastic. Thank you. Wow.
I pulled in a few favors, and thank you, Anthony, as well for help with
Oh,
collating
that was from
and getting
Anthony.
that.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
Tony. I appreciate that, my friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Right, tell us about Banachek and your relationship there.
Yeah. So he and I worked at the Magic Island here in Houston. The Magic Island started in Long Beach, California, and as a private club, and then expanded to Houston with the plan of having these Magic Island private nightclubs across the U.S. They're going to have them like in Chicago and Atlanta, Washington, D.C., a few other places. And fortunately or unfortunately, when they were opening, as they were opening, we were going through a boom in the oil business in Houston. And so prices and money and everything was fine in the early, like 80, 81. And then whenever about 83 or 82, the price of oil started falling off. As a result, they decided not to open any more clubs, and they just stuck with the one. And they went bankrupt. So a couple of guys came in, bought it out. Anyhow, the Magic Island then continued then for 25 years from the time of inception, basically. And Banachek and I were house magicians. He was a house mentalist. I was a house magician, and doing close-up every night. And one evening, we were talking with him. I said, "Hey, I'm going back for my high school reunion, and I'm going to go on the radio. And I know you've done a lot of radio as well when you're promoting comedy clubs and things." And he said, "Yeah, I've got some tapes I can give you, some cassette tapes that some old guys of us might remember these things." So he gave me some tapes, and I listened to a few of these things, got some suggestions. And so whenever I was on the radio, I recorded that. So I have some clips from that then as well. And in the meantime, when we sat down, we actually recorded something that was for about how to do magic over the radio, giving me some ideas. Basically, it was for myself. But then I started listening to it, and I thought there might be some information other people in the world might be interested. So we came back, and I rewrote the questions to ask, and we re-recorded it. And it was a little over 2.5 hours or so, I guess we did, and called it Radio Magic. We put that out as our first project. And we thought, well, we can see if there's a market for this. And then as we were talking, he said, well, I've got a lot of things that have been published in Magic. That's MAGICK. Or Bascom Jones thing, and also some things he had done that he's just had a binder. Boy, I should probably bring that out. I got a binder of stuff that's never been published, the things that were some ideas when he was younger. And he said, well, we got an idea of putting together maybe something that would be like an encyclopedia of magic that would have different kinds of ideas of several volumes, which of course later became psychokinetic or psychological subtleties. And we did 1, 2, and 3. But before that, he released Psychokinetic Touches, and then his pre-thoughts being his entire act. It's like a 40-minute act, and from start to finish. And I will share with the group here, it's kind of interesting, the original copy of Pre-Thoughts, the way that it ended was that there would be a prediction of something, and they would have this, and whenever that he would say, no, to begin during the show, I've done this, this, and this, and this, and all of these predictions have come true. So I want to thank everybody tonight for coming, and good night. And he walks off the stage, and this person is still standing there with this prediction that has not yet been opened. And so they open it and pull it out, and and show it, which oh yeah, that's a trick I've invented. Anyhow, so I got to ship that out this afternoon. So anyhow, that shameless plug. So but the point is, he was walking off stage left this person with, holding this prediction, which everybody then applauded. And so but he wasn't there to take the applause. It was kind of like the person did then as well. He was off the stage. My point in the story is that shortly after we had released that and sold a few copies of Pre-Thoughts, then Max Maven had contacted us. And at that time he was known as Steve Shaw. And he was saying, Steve, this is, this is my routine that I've been doing for years. Well, it was independently thought of. And he said, I didn't know you were doing it. I'm sorry, I'll take it out. So that is no longer in as an ending in that, and it has never appeared since then. We've sold thousands of those Pre-Thoughts since then, and so it's not there. But I'm just sharing a little story there. It was how his act originally ended.
A little inner secret.
Yeah. So anyhow, one thing just kind of led to another. And he said, I've got this idea and this idea. And he can. So basically, it's just been a 50-50 partnership since 1987, in which he is the creative side. I am the marketing guy and business end of the thing, and puts the taxes together each year and all that stuff. And so when we were editing all the books, the Psychological Subtleties, he was just sitting right behind me, just right here, looking over my shoulder. I was just on the computer, editing. And it's interesting. Banachek's from South Africa, moved to England. And so his English and his spelling, like yours, let's say favor is F-A-V-O-U-R, and in English it's F-A-V-O-R, things like that, in which that, and different grammatical issues that are different between English and American. And so we were trying to write it for American. And so, and also as we were talking and doing this, it was interesting because I'm a magician, he's a mind reader and a mentalist. And so when I was saying, well, perhaps as you're describing how this works, it needs to be said or done this way. And he said, you're thinking like a magician. This is for mentalists. And there's a difference between magic and mentalism, or magic mentalism, if you will. And I was trying to make it into a trick. And he's trying to, again, the focus of what that whole book is in the title, Psychological Subtleties. And the subtlety that makes Banachek the world's foremost thought reader is because it's as if he's reading your thoughts, not reading your mind. He doesn't say, okay, here's a prediction. Yeah. You were thinking of the word whatever, he's thinking of how you're thinking. In other words, jumble up the letters. And if there's a word, let's say the word thought, and you're jumbling up the letters, then he'll say, okay, you're starting with a G. And oftentimes, like he says in the book, that is a hard consonant. So people will think of a hard consonant first. So you're thinking of a word and it starts with a G. Yes, I am. So it's like, not just how'd you know that, but how do you know how I think to put that first, kind of thing. Does that make sense? So that's just a snippet of the subtlety.
Yeah, and obviously the magicians out there who have got the psychological subtlety books, and if you haven't, shame on you. Volume 1 is dedicated. The dedication actually is to yourself.
Yes. So, yeah. So we've been best friends and business partners for 35 years, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Another picture up here.
Murray.
Gentleman. Yeah.
I love Murray. Murray's my boy. Well. Marvin Roy, Mr. Electric, and I have always considered Marvin as our boys, and he's called us his dads. And he's just been a great guy. I started as a kid. I mean, he's young enough, obviously, to be my son. In fact, I went to his wedding, and he even came to my son's wedding. And known each other since, I think, 99, probably 1999, I guess. And I was the president of the Texas Association of Magicians the year that he won the TAOM award. And he continued to win with the CD Act way back then. He was traveling about all over. And I was out in Vegas this past month of June and spent the whole month with him and his wife, Danny. And it was just phenomenal. It's one of those things like, how can you put up with anybody? They say fish and friends or visitors smell in 3 days. It's like you need to get rid of them, but we got along well and great, and just like a family. And as we were leaving, we still hated to part even after 30 days of being together there. So we had a great time. But yeah, he's a great kid, great guy, good magician.
Segues us nicely into a video that you, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I'm really honored to be here. I've been in Vegas since 2002, and I've been in this hotel since 2012 with my show, and it's an honor for you guys to come to see the show all the time and over the years. But I love, in my show, I have so many good friends in the business that do magic and do comedy and juggling. If they're ever in town, though, I go, hey, if you're in town, you got to come to my show and do 5, 6, 7 minutes. It makes my show different, makes it more interesting. If I have a guest act in my show this afternoon, you're going to see right now. He's toured all over the world. He's a favorite at the Magic Castle in Hollywood, California, and he's here with you tonight. He's going to entertain you guys for a little while. His name is Scott Wells. So please put your hands together for Mr. Scott Wells, everybody. Here he is.
Ho, ho, ho. Well, that was meant as a greeting, not as a statement for, you might think it here in Las Vegas. Well, to begin with, of course, what is a big, fat, bearded white man doing here this time of the year in Las Vegas? Well, I'm here actually just to see who's naughty and nice, and we'll check that out a little bit later. Also, I travel around the world, and I got some magic water from Zanzibar, which I happened to go to here recently. Also, I thought perhaps you may never have seen or heard of an ooh-ah bird. How many of you, by raising hands, have heard of an ooh-ah bird? exactly, that's why I thought I would bring this. This actually is a native bird of Texas. It's called an ooh bird. And the reason it's called an ooh bird is because it actually lays square eggs. Yeah, believe it or not, I mean, you can just imagine, of course, you know, of laying a square egg. And they go, But this one's name has a name. I call it G for short. That's the last name, actually. The first name is Bart. Bart, which is an acronym meaning bird always ready to go. I heard what you said back there. Did you hear this gentleman? He said, up your sleeve. To that, sir, I say, up yours. So, yeah, how does he do it? Why does he do it? Well, listen, magic water from Zanzibar. Get that fixed, I guess, over there. So anyhow, we're going to be doing some magic from time to time. You guys are going to get to help me. And as I said, I'm going to need some volunteers from time to time in order to help. And I'm going to have, ma'am, you're kind of handy right there. You can stay seated. It's a small part, so you don't need to come up on stage or anything like that. We're going to use something with just a little handkerchief. And this handkerchief, you see, is going to help us. I call it a handkerchief. Of course, in Spanish, they call this a sombrero. Okay, I don't speak Spanish very well, but I do speak every language in the world except for Greek. I do. Just name a language. No, it's Greek to me. So here's the idea for you. I want you just to give me a number. Okay, give me a number between. Oh, let's make it easy. Give me a number between 1 and 5. Between 1 and 5. 3. You are amazing. She did it, not me. That's and where are you from? I'm sorry. No, I heard you. I'm sorry. So I will speak just a little bit slower. Not a problem over there. Then is this? Do you know this gentleman, or just meet him downstairs in the parking lot, or? Okay, gotcha. Or the casino, I guess. So, sir, what is your name? Bruce. Glad to meet you, Bruce. Would you please just, since we are at a casino, just name a suit: clubs, hearts, spades, or diamonds? Diamonds. Let me kind of recap what's just happened here, folks. You just a moment ago had said 3, correct? And then I ask you then for any number, and I also ask you then to name a suit. And your suit was what? Which means that must be the 3. Glad you guys came today all the way from Texas. It makes it very nice. Magic water from Zanzibar. You know, I do need to oh, this gets embarrassing. I hate this whenever this happens all the time. Do you ever have a problem whenever you have like a rock in your shoe? You're kind of walking down and then it's just all the time. I don't know if you ever had this problem, but this is horrible. In fact, oh yeah, pick a card, any card. You didn't say clubs, you said diamonds. Well, anyhow, the idea is when you get a small rock in your shoe and you just want to get rid of that thing, you know. So, that's a load off, I tell you, you know. This, of course, sir, is a birth control device for men. You put it in your shoe and it makes you limp. Yeah, so. Well, I tell you what, we're getting ready to have some fun here in just a second. Just need to get everything all ready to go. That's right, okay. So, kind of getting down to my winter weight, or getting up there shortly. I've been on this meat-eating diet. I'm a carnivore. I love reindeer. So, I think that's the first Connor Blitzen after all. Okay, so we're going to show you something having to do, again, with this little handkerchief. Now I'm going to teach you guys a trick, and I'll teach it to you only if you happen to like it. And I can tell if you like it because whenever I would hear some applause. At the end of the trick, obviously not now because, well, I'm not getting any applause. So the idea is, of course, you're going to be taking a handkerchief. You make a fist, first of all, and when you do, you take this handkerchief and you run it in the top of your hand like this. By doing this, of course, does nothing, but when you snap your fingers once, twice, and a third time, waving your hand, saying the magic word, Merry Christmas, it seems to work, in which it changes from red to white. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Okay, good. little slow on the uptake. That's okay. Kind of goes in and comes out, goes in and out, kind of like a hamburger place down the street. Goes in and out. You see, just like this. Sir, look right there. Can you help me out? Once you kind of poke that, it's kind of poke right there. Poke and a pull. Okay. So the idea is, yeah, it goes in and out all the way, and just like this until finally you have it all the way in. Now again, once it goes in one and it comes out the other one, just like this, you poke a little bit like this. You can throw that around, and then, did you like that? Yeah? Okay. All right. Well, a promise is a promise, and I told you I would teach you how to do that, and I shall. How many of you were guessing that I was using 2 handkerchiefs? Oh, well, I fooled most of you. Okay, well, okay, the smarter person in the front row over here happened to come up with it. The idea was I was using 2 handkerchiefs. I use another one inside my hand. I have this little trap door right there. You see, that's where I keep that other handkerchief. So that stays right over there. So once, that's fine. So that way, once you have the handkerchief in there, that way you're ready to go for the next one. So you begin with a handkerchief which goes into your hand then to begin with. You make a fist and place the handkerchief in. You let the other handkerchief fall to the ground. So that stays there until you're finished with this part of poking and tucking. You see, like that. Good, sir, you're pretty good at that. Stay in there. And now, since that you got that in your hand, that's when you can come down here and pick up the other one that was on the ground, because that way you don't have to worry about it. So once you have this handkerchief, you can wave this around. Now, there are some parts of Las Vegas you may not want to do that. Oh, Uber. I'm the one. No, you're not. Keep on driving. And so the important thing is whenever it is you're doing this is, again, you're waving this around from this direction. And of course, you're keeping this other hand held like this, which is in a perfectly natural position. And the other thing that's important is that, again, in case you don't need it, you can throw it again on the ground. No, the idea is that you never, ever open this hand. I mean, you can, but don't ever open that hand. So, so you have that hand closed. Remember, that was the fist. A while ago, you had the handkerchief in, and you've been waving this around. Now is the time in which you would take the handkerchief, poke it into your fist like you were doing a little bit earlier. And remember that, just as we said, we snap our fingers once, twice, third time, say, Merry Christmas. And it changes from one color to the next. Yeah, exactly. Again, much like in and out. When you go to have a burger, it goes in one color and comes out another. So, okay, you guys, and I work on a little bit more on this side. So the idea is we have it all the way down through there until finally, sir, you know your job? All the way through. So finally you have it all the way inside. You can then take the handkerchief, put it back in your pocket, so that way you look nice and smart. That stays this way, and now is whenever that you can open your hand and take some applause. Thank you. Well, I don't know about you, but I think it's about time for me to go find some scotch from Zanzibar to go with my water. Until then, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Big hand for Scott Wells, everybody!
Thank you, sir.
Love that routine. Do you prefer sort of parlor stand up like that, or do you like close up or stage, or what is your preferred medium for performance?
I really like doing stand up parlor like that, and I do a lot of after dinner shows for corporations. But I probably do more cocktail strolling. It's interesting, whenever you get booked, it depends upon what people have seen you doing. So if they see me doing cocktails, other company will say, hey, you know, my company's going to be having a party. Could you come and do some walk around magic like this as well? Or if they see me at a dinner show, then they'll say, can you do that? So I recently heard someone say that what they like to do is to bring things to do when they're doing a cocktail strolling thing, to actually have some stand-up parlor things they can do to kind of get a larger crowd to do like 20 minutes for a larger group. That way they kind of get to see a little bit of both, so people can book you. But I really love close-up. I have been a card guy for a long time. I've been going to the Fechter's Finger Flicking Frolic since 1981.
At least you can say that.
Yeah, this the 4F convention. But And I've gotten my doctorate's degree from there. That means you have to perform at least 3 times, and I've lectured there and whatnot. So it's been great. So I really love cards, and used to spend a lot of times and nights at Magic Convention sessioning with everybody. It's just that I feel like I have, obviously I know enough tricks, I know enough magic. It's a matter of making sure that I do the presentations that are going to be my personality, my character. And so I like when I'm working on a cruise ship, you'll have an A, B, and a C act, or if I'm working with a corporation, I'll come back the next year and have a different act that I will do for them then as well. Likewise, like when I was lecturing at the Magic Castle, I'd lectured 3 consecutive years, and I had 3 different 2-hour lectures that I did each year, completely separate from the one before. So I think it's important that you kind of be a little bit of everything, but good at what you're going to be doing. But I guess my passion is I really like doing this kind of a parlor type of a thing with larger audiences, or I say larger, up to about 100. I think a nice intimate group like that. I mean, working for 1,000 or 2,000 is fine, as long as you've got on camera, because a lot of what I do is audience participation, which comes down also to like again close-up of doing audience participation things.
Fantastic. I told you at the beginning that I would have one slide that was going to be out of sequence because you would mention it earlier on, which is that one.
Yes.
But we've been there already, so we're going to move on.
Well, I was supposed to be, they were going to be reopening in 2018, and I was hired to be the entertainment director for their reopening. My wife and I actually had closed the Magic Island back in 2008. It was in September of 2008, and they called us. There was a hurricane coming through Houston, and they called us on a Friday and said, hey, we are not going to be open tonight, and we're not sure about tomorrow. Well, there's only 2 miles up the street from my house, so I thought, well, I'm going to go there and get my stuff, because I know the dressing room, the ceiling tiles leak, and I didn't want that to get on my costume. And we were working on a 2-person mind reading act that we were going to do on cruise ships, and so that was kind of what we were rehearsing and practicing. Well, what happened was they were closed that night on that Friday, and then we didn't have a severe hurricane, but it was enough to knock out the power in certain parts of town. We didn't have any power, but they did 2 miles away. Well, it was interesting because my wife was watching the television, like a little battery operated TV, and about 4 o'clock on Saturday said, Scott, come in here, the Magic Island is on fire. And I watched this, and the fire department with hoses were apparently, you can see right there in that picture that you've got, Kevin, where it says Magic Island right above those palm trees, that some electric caught fire, the roof caught fire. So what happened was the high pressure hose got up underneath the ceiling and did more damage than what the hurricane did, actually. And so it closed and never reopened. My wife passed in May of early May of 2018, almost 10 years later. Well, within 48 hours, coincidentally, I got a phone call, and someone said, I've got several videos on YouTube. And if you're not following me, please do. It's Texas Magician, or just look for Scott Wells Magic. Anyhow, so I've got some videos of the Magic Island. And I also did a video with Scott Hollingsworth, who was the entertainment director there for 20 years or more. And he was giving us a walk through there. The television station wanted to use that because they said, they're going to be reopening the Magic Island. And I said, yeah, you can use that. And I said, if you want, I used to be a magician there. And he said, well, can you be on the Live at 5 TV show? And I said, sure. So I came down, did a couple of things for the news. And then I started talking. There was some other lady there who was the treasurer, and she said, hey, yeah, we're going to be reopening, and we'd be interested in perhaps having you to come back and be the entertainment director. And I thought, this is amazing. My wife hasn't been gone 48 hours and she's already got a job for me, it's something that I can do. And this was great. And so they continued they put a couple $1 million in trying to remodel and renovate. And then the city came in and said, have you got your permits for architectural permits? And they said no. And they'd already gone so far that they were going to have to take out some of the things, the upgrades they'd already put in. And so it was going to cost them more, and just nothing ever happened. And so I think until the fellow who owns it dies and it goes to his kids and they resell it or something, I don't think it's going to be happening. He's about 80 years old. I don't know that the Magic Island, because people ask me frequently, and that might be something that later someone might want to ask me in the Q&A. No, it's not going to be opening. So unfortunately, but I was excited about being the entertainment guy. I would have been doing all the bookings.
All right. Right, Magic Island, which we've managed to get a little bit more about it as well, which is absolutely great.
By the way, let me just point out, for
Yeah.
those who might be interested, this particular martini glass I got from the estate of Walter Blaney. His daughters gave this to me,
Wow,
saying, I think that Walter would like for you to have had this.
fabulous. Society of American Magicians has been, I think it's the oldest magic society in the world, just slightly older than the Magic Circle. And they honored you with the cover a short while ago. So
Quite flattering.
did you know that that was going to happen, or did it come as a surprise? Or
Well, how much time we got? So it is an interesting story because I've been contacted by Alan Howard, who is the editor of the MUM. Well, let me back up. Before that, I was the Linking Ring wanted to do a cover article on me for the IBM, and so Tom Vorjahan was going to be the one writing it. And within about a week, I got a call from my friend Hal Myers, who has written several cover articles for Vanish magazine. And Vanish is a fabulous magazine, of course.
Absolutely.
And then within about a month, I got a call from Alan Howard. It's like all of a sudden, why am I popular? I mean, why did people call me? They said, have you ever had an article or a cover? And I said, no, I've not even had a paragraph written about me at all anywhere in any of the magazines, although I have contributed to all those magazines and more over the years. And I've got some awards hanging from articles that I've won. But I said, no, there's been nothing. No one knows anything about me. And so they also, we want to do something. Well, I said, I've already promised the Linking Ring. Time went by. Tom couldn't wrap his arms around the crux of the article. What could he say about me? Because there were several things. He said, once I started saying that about the podcast, also wasn't including your work at the Magic Castle or the Magic Island, or, you know, I have been, I am a producer of lectures. I've been producing magic lectures for over 150 magicians over the past 15 years. And so different things of my life, like say working with Banachek or whatever else. So he said, I really can't put my arms around until I kind of get an idea of how the angle, I really don't, I can't write it. So I kind of sat there for a long time. And then Alan Howard called me again and said, hey, is this going to happen or not? And I said, you know, let me call Tom. And Tom said, I've talked with Sammy Patrick Smith. They've got the next 18 months of cover articles already spoken for. So no, we're not going to be doing it for the Linking Ring. So I called Alan back and I said, yeah, let's put it in your magazine. And then I talked to Tom as we were talking. Suddenly he kind of got this idea of 3 degrees of separation. He said, everybody either knows Scott or knows someone who knows Scott in the world. I mean, you have, and it was very flattering. And so if you don't know somebody, again, somebody else does. He said, and all of a sudden it just clicked. And he said, I had like 3 pages written in an hour. He said, I had it all it all opened up. And so that's kind of how that it came about. So I did know about it. I just didn't know when or how it was going to happen. Yeah.
And of course, you mentioned there all the other things you do. And one of them, of course, is consulting. And you're consulting on the big Master of Illusion TV specials at the moment.
Yeah, that was during this last, they just filmed that this spring. When did I go do that? March, April, May, somewhere in there, I think. I think it might have been in May. And yeah, I actually had gone out there to do a podcast with behind the scenes of what it's like to be in the audience and talk with the talent and everything. And so I was there for the 5 days of filming. And the funny thing was, every day that I was there, every magician who was on stage, they'd come on and say, hey, Scott, what are you doing here? Good to see you, whatever. And the people who were in the audience were central casting. They were just people, you know, who were local actors working as a waiter or something at McDonald's during a day or whatever. So anyhow, they were, after a while, it's like, who is this guy? You know, even after the second day, the director was on stage and he said, who are you and what do you, how come everybody knows you and everything? Well, Paul Green was supposed to be consulting with one of the magicians, and he had a family emergency, and Gay Blackstone said, well, who would you suggest and that I use? She said, well, you're in luck, because the guy I would recommend is here right now. You know, this week you need to have Scott Wells. And she talked to me and I said, sure. So I ended up doing it, and it was phenomenal. I mean, as it worked out, I mean, it's not only did I teach the magic as far as the trick goes, but also the routine to put this together with the music, and choreographed it and everything. So I just had a great time, and they seemed to really enjoy it. And so you know, I've always enjoyed consulting. I've been teaching magic for a long number of years. I taught magic at the local universities for, I don't know, 5 years or so as well. And so just different things where I've worked restaurants for 20 years. I know that's not a big thing in the UK, but over here it is. And that's one of my lectures is about restaurants, getting business, and how to, there's a lot to say about how to approach a table, which is similar in a cocktail situation or a wedding when you're walking up to do that. Same thing like at trade shows where you're having to stop a group of people to talk, to have them listen. I mean, there are so many other booths for them to stop, for them to stop at my booth and for me to find that little hook for them to listen to the pitch I'm trying to sell them, you know.
Yeah, I mean, restaurants and weddings are probably the biggest market here, and restaurants are very close. Before the horror of COVID, I had a residency, but that restaurant is now closed and doesn't look like it'll reopen, which is a shame. But I have to go and find out and find something else.
Right.
Scott, just briefly. Let's get us back to the San Martini.
Making me thirsty. Go ahead.
Just going.
Yeah, I've got an interest in it. I should have brought that bottle of Illusion vodka. That I'm a partner in a vodka company too.
Oh my God! Right at the beginning, did you have any magical influences who actually influenced your style and the way that you developed?
Believe it or not, Shimada. Because I early on and fairly quickly did doves and rabbits and illusions. And some of my, I had a sub trunk and a zigzag that my wife and I did. And we had a silent dove act that we did then also. But I was just influenced by the beauty and the choreography and the music and everything of Shimada. I just thought he was amazing. So that was someone who was influential. Early on, there were other guys. I mean, when I was living in Midland, Texas back in 1980 or so, golly, I remember having a lot of guys, David Ginn and Paul Harris and Mike Amar and Tom Ogden, so many guys who had come through. But, Mike Amar was one of them who, those guys stayed in my house and we kind of learning and doing magic with each other. And again, that's one of the things how I really have gotten to know so many magicians and have a camaraderie with them, because I've either worked with them or they stayed at my house. We've broken bread. We've traveled together, or, spent a lot of time together in one place or another. And anyhow, he's, I'd say Mike Amar was kind of influential to a degree, then as well. Like I said, in Shimada from a stage standpoint.
Scott, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. As I said, I've been waiting with bated breath for this moment to happen. One final thing. I would, if you want to do it on this show, maybe you reserve it for the podcast, but you have a catchphrase that you always end on.
Scotty out.
Yeah.
That's going on my tombstone.
Yeah. Scott Wells, everybody. Thank you ever so much.
Sure.
Thanks ever so much. And hopefully if you've got time to stick around for the after show and chat with some of the magicians with a Q&A, and it's up to you.
Sure, I'd be flattered. Be great.
Yep. Fantastic. Love. Fabulous. Okay. Roy. Middock in the middle of the north of, northish England. Follow that, old son.
I begin to wish you put Tommy on next, not me. So tonight I thought we'd do a bit of alchemy. I guess most of you know what alchemy is. It's turning solid metal into gold. Well, I'm not quite that good. I'm only just learning alchemy. So what the alchemist would do, he'd take his empty pot, there you go, you can see that, he'd put his metal in and he'd turn it into gold. As I say, I'm just learning. I'm not quite good at it. So I thought, well, what can I try and turn it into? So I thought, well, that's round. So if I turn it into something square, and that's the opposite of that. And what's the opposite of metal? Plastic, I suggest. So if I turn that into something square and plastic, then that'd be good. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the lid on top of that. So what square of plastic, I thought to myself, I know, a Rubik cube. So if I could push that down, squash the metal in the pot, and turn that into a Rubik cube, I think that would be pretty good. That would be a beginner's course to alchemy. So we'll take the lid off. There we go. Okay, and oh, it's not a Rubik cube. You see, that's solid and that's empty, and inside that was the, well, it's square. I'm almost there. It's square, and it's paper. So I should have probably said square and paper, shouldn't I? So let's just see what this. Oh, yeah. So, oh, it's a picture of me. I don't know if you can see that, and it says, "Look," in the diamond box. So I've got a diamond box here. And if we look in it, oh look, I've done it like I've turned it into a Rubik cube. Well, I sort of turned it into a Rubik cube, didn't I? I turned it into paper and then I've got a Rubik cube in here, so it's sort of right. It's not just any Rubik cube, as you can see, it's got my business details. It's actually a membership card for the Rubik Cube Club. It's got a picture of an unsolved Rubik cube on it. The reason I have a picture of an unsolved Rubik cube on my business card is to remind me that I need to learn that trick. And also that I need to be able to solve a Rubik cube. So Kevin, we'll just use your voice. Kevin, so just recognise this card again. We're going to write something on it. Just give me a 3-digit number, that will do.
917.
917. And what I'm going to do is that view, but I'm going to just I want you to read this in a minute, so I'm going to swap cameras. There we go. Okay, so 917. That's not bad term writing back to it. There you go.
Yep.
917. Okay. What we'll do, we'll get the card. We'll take the card out. We don't need the rest of the unsolved ones. Okay. That's the card. We on and run 917. Okay.
Yep.
And on the back of this, Kevin, I don't know if you can read. It's actually, what's going to focus on it? Can I get a bit closer? Can you read that?
Yep.
It says number one. What does number one say?
The record for solving a cube is 3.47 seconds.
It's not bad. Number two.
There are 43 quintillion combinations.
A Rubik cube. Can you read?
By the time you have read this, you have solved your first cube.
I can't solve a Rubik cube, so I solved it. And
wow, I've done it.
Thank you, right? Bit of alchemy for me, and I'll send you this, Kevin. Here's your solved Rubik cube. You can send you that to show that it's not dodgy. Of course, you get my details, so that's a bonus.
Yep.
That's all for me, folks. The Alchemist.
Thank you. Thanks, Roy. Lovely. Fantastic. And so that'll be about the 100th business card you sent me, Roy. Okay. Moving on from the UK over a little bit of water and through France and jiggling and going a little bit left again, and we end up in Germany with our next performer, Rolf Haecker. Hi, Rolf. Come in.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, everyone. It would be nice if you could find me an assistant from the gallery, Kevin. Maybe one that did not attend the IBM 100 convention last week.
Oh, I know who. Oh, yeah, Scott. Scott has put his hand up, actually. Do you want him in video or just in
No,
voice?
put him in video.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
There
there
we
we
are.
go.
All right.
Hi, Scott. I'm glad you're willing to help me out a little.
Thanks,
If
Rolf.
you were here, I would have you shuffle those cards, so I guess I'll do that for you. I just riffle shuffle them a little, or maybe I first show them to you. There's no jokers in there. We
Don't see 'em.
just shuffle them a little. And now I would have you cut them into four roughly equal piles. I'll do that, maybe 2, and those 2 into that.
Exactly how I would have done it.
So if you want, I could change a few cards more from here to there, or whatever.
That's exactly what I would have done. That's fine.
Now we do have 4 piles, and I do have 3 predictions. When you tell me where I put prediction number 1 on pile A, B, C, or D.
B as in boy.
And B. Now prediction number 2 on A, C, D, A.
A.
A. And prediction number 3.
D as in David.
D. So we discard this packet 3. You see there's different cards here. 5, 6, 4, 2 4s, whatever.
Yes.
So don't need this. We take that. Now you could again shuffle that, and then now first I'd show you just number cards. Few check, queen, ace. Well, you could shuffle those, and you would put them one on the 2 piles.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's have a look at the prediction. You will have the same number of black cards. I will have the same number of black cards than you have red cards.
Okay.
Can you read this? Yeah.
I do. I'll have the same number of black cards as you have red cards.
I will have. So which should be my packet? The A or B?
I'd say A would be.
A is for me.
Yes.
Then I would ask you to shuffle your packet and maybe give me the top card. Now I can't know which ones are red and black cards, right?
Correct.
Let's see what I've found. I do have 2 black cards, and this is yours. You have 2 red cards.
Prediction's correct.
Prediction correct. We did fine. Thank you. Now, prediction number 2. We do sort of the same thing. Have a quick look at it. Okay, ordinary.
Yes.
We shuffle them a little, do 2 piles. And it says, I will have 1 less black cards than you have red cards. Which packet should I take? A or B?
B.
So B is for me, A is for you. Now I would shuffle that and give you, say, the top and the bottom card. And then I do have 2 black cards. And you have 3 red cards. Okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah, 1 less.
That's nice. Yeah, thank you.
2 for 2.
Now, for the last one, we're shuffling that. Which one should I take?
B.
A or B?
B.
B. You will have 1 more black cards. I will have 1 more black cards than you have red cards. I think I'll have you give this. This was mine. This is yours.
Right.
I'll have you give me 2 cards. Maybe. Which one should I take?
2 bottoms.
The 2 bottoms. Now let's see. I will have 1, 2, 3, 4 black cards, and you have 2 red ones. So what was it? I will have 1 more. 2. No, I guess I messed 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. I messed this one up. 1 more. Sorry. 3.
2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, correct? Yeah. But thank you very much. We can do another quick one. We have a little time.
Sure.
I have a prediction here. I have a deck of cards there. And at any time when you feel, you just tell me to stop.
And 2 more. 1, 2, and stop.
Here? Here?
Yeah.
So this is your card, right?
Sure. 9 of hearts.
9 hearts. Here is my selection in this wallet. See?
9 of hearts.
9 hearts, and there's no other card in here.
Very good.
Thank you very much. You stopped at the right card. You have the magic fingers. Thanks, guys.
Great.
That's it.
Thanks for letting me be part.
Thanks, Rolf. Thank you. Right, okay. Back to the UK. From Germany back to the UK and to a young guy who's been on quite a few times. And I keep going on about how he is very weird because he, you know, does sword swallowing and nails up the nose and lying on glass. And he always tells me, no, he's perfectly ordinary and doesn't do anything unusual. I wonder what he got in store for us tonight. Olie McManus, come in, lad.
Hello. Sorry about the lighting issue. It's terrible in this room, I swear to God. Right. I don't know what he's on about. I am quite normal. I'm just going to do a something little that I've been playing around with. And I've got a little assistant here to help me because it's not something I can do virtually. Yeah, he's a bit proud. It's his birthday today. So
happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
So yeah, we're going to try something.
Whoa.
If it goes horribly wrong,
I'm
sorry. But if not, we'll see. Right. So we're gonna. I've got a poker chip. Take the poker chip for me. Just mix it up behind your back as much as you want, and when you're happy, bring it out for me. Okay. And that's what really want you to focus. Whichever hand got the chip in, it starts to imagine it gets really warm. And whichever one it has isn't, I want you to imagine it's nice and cold. And the warmer it is, it's this hand, yeah? Joe, is it this hand? No. You're good. Okay. So now I know how you think. Just do it once more for me. Just focus. Tell me the truth or lie. It's up to you. Is it in this hand?
No.
Is it in this hand?
Yes.
You had a smile on your face when you were saying no here. But knowing you, you're trying to trick me. It is in this hand though, yeah?
No. Where's that? The poker chip?
He's clever. He's clever.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I know what the problem is.
Well,
I'm looking at you.
okay.
I'm going to try this. I'm going to try this.
Okay.
Pick a hand and bring it out. Is it in this hand?
No.
Is it in this hand?
Yes.
Okay, are you now being counterintuitive and actually telling me the truth and not lying?
I'm telling the truth.
Are you actually being honest?
I'm being honest.
So is it in this hand?
100% honest.
Okay. So I've got one, but maybe I've realised something. I think it's his face. He's actually
And
if
by
you
the
look
way,
at his
I'm
face, you can
sweating
give it
because
away.
I went to McDonald's.
Now, Toby,
Yeah?
I want you to turn around so I don't see your face. Mix it up.
Why do I mix up?
Yeah, mix it up in front of you.
We never did this in the practice.
Right hand in the air. Is it in this hand? Is it in this hand?
No.
Okay. I hope to God you've done this right, because you've actually told me the truth again. This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone
I've got a question for you guys. Do I go for one more and try and, or do I leave it there since I'm on a streak?
Do one more.
One more.
Tommy,
One more.
you would say that, wouldn't you, Tommy?
Yeah, of course I will.
Actually, do you know what, Tommy? Can I bring Tommy up for it quickly?
Sure.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah.
Seems you're the man that knows everything.
No,
I want to mix up behind you.
I know too much.
Okay, sorry, the man that knows too much. This man knows a lot about it. Mix up behind you.
Owes too much or knows too much?
Yeah.
And when you're happy, bring it out. Which hand's it in, Tommy? I said, Toby, bring them out. Swap them around, and when you're happy,
Sorry.
bring it out. And both of the hands out. It's fine. Tommy's up for it. Didn't know Tommy was here. Tommy, which hand is it in?
I like the Illuminati.
It's in your right hand. It's in your right hand.
In your right hand. This one, yeah, Tommy?
Mm-hmm. No.
Oh.
Wow.
Tommy. Well, technically, if you were his right, you got it right.
Yeah.
You got confused with the hands. But yeah, thank you, and well done, Toby.
I like the Illuminati.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ollie. Thanks, Ollie. Thanks, Toby.
He wants to show everyone Baby Yoda that he got.
Oh.
Hey, fabulous.
Oh. I have the Yoda too.
Oh, Toby's.
Yeah, Yoda too. Why the Baby Yoda?
Fantastic. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, mate.
Thank you. Thanks. That was such fun. Right. Well, we are sticking in New York City with the man who knows too much. Going to that. Going, Tommy.
Well, that was probably not a good start for me. But that doesn't count as my time. So, can I get, let's see who's out there. Who is out there? Besides me, I'm way after. You know what? If he doesn't mind, can I get Anthony up here, please?
Yeah, Anthony is nodding. There we go.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Ooh.
Okay, Tommy. Go ahead.
Oh.
Excellent. So
Hang on, Zoom is playing sillies again.
Okay.
So,
It kept. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing with my camera. It's being silly. I see me, and I see me next to Tommy.
There we go.
There you go.
There we are. Now, can you see me in the upper left-hand corner of my
Yes.
screen? Yes. Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so there's a piece of paper here, and on the back or on the front, depending on how you look at it, is a series of 6 numbers, making a 6-digit figure. Okay, and we'll come back to that in a second. I also have some smaller pieces of paper here, and we'll put them out here. We'll see if you see them all. There are 9 pieces of paper. Each one has a different number, 1 through 9. Okay, I'll give them a bit of a mix here, so even I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so even I don't know what these numbers are. And to make it even more interesting, Anthony, you're going to help me eliminate 3 of these numbers.
Sure.
So let's see here. I think to make it a little easier, hopefully a little easier, I'll count from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So I will go in a circle or a semicircle this way. Do me a favor and name any number from 1 to 9, and we will eliminate that one first.
1.
So 1. So okay, here's 1, and we'll place it over here. And okay, so we're eliminating the number 2.
3.
Oh,
From okay, and 3.
3.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. And so okay, so that is the number 5. Okay. And what is your last number from here, please?
7.
7. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And let's see what that. Oh, okay. So the numbers that you cannot use are 2, 5, and 9. Okay.
Okay.
So let's get rid of those. And again, we're trying to match whatever this number is here. So let me mix these up again. So again, even I don't know what the number is. And would you like me to mix them up more, or are you happy with that?
That's just fine. That's just
Okay,
fine.
so let's see what numbers we've got here. And okay, and what was that? 7, 8, 3, 6, 4, 1, 7. Now, actually, be honest with me, you and I have not prearranged anything today, right? And you had no idea what the final number would be, and you had no idea what numbers you were going to end up with. So
Got
it
it?
would be almost impossible to do this.
Wow. Excellent.
Thank you. If you wouldn't mind, I have one more quick thing for you, and it involves some ESP cards. So let's take these. Let's see, we have wavy lines, square, star, plus sign, and the same over here. Let's try to get these in the same order. Okay. And, all right. So, what's going to happen is, if you were here with me right now, I would have you take the red cards and give them a mix. So I will be your hands, and I will mix these up for you. Oops, yeah, this table is a little sticky. Okay, so let's see if you see me mixing these. Okay, and I'm going to hold this up in the little window there so you can see hopefully all 5 cards.
I can.
Okay, and we're going to start off with, I guess, this one here, the wavy lines. If I count 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, which one of these do you think is the wavy lines?
3.
3, so 1, 2, 3, and I will place that right here. Let's take a look and see how, oh, perfect, excellent, good job. So let's try that again, but this time you pick which one of these 4 you want to do.
Also 3. Also 3.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, we'll do this one here. I'll move it. And from here, which one would you like to do? 1, 2, 3,
2.
or 4?
2.
So we'll take 2 and place it there, like so. And let's see how well you do. We'll turn your card over first. Okay, so you chose the plus sign out here, and wow, look at that. A plus sign as well. Wow. So we have 3 cards left. Go ahead and name any one of these here. 1, 2, 3.
The one in the middle, Tommy.
The one in the middle, and would you like me to place it here?
That's fine. No,
okay,
that's fine.
Good.
Yep,
And
that's fine.
that leaves 2 more, And would you like me to leave these here or?
That's fine, as you have it now. Yep.
Like this? Okay.
Yep.
So let's see what I have here. Okay, so we have circle plus straw, square, and wave. Now, as it is, you're doing really well. But I gotta say that two of these cards are transposed. So we can either transpose these two, or these two.
Those two.
These two, okay. So we'll take this one from here and put it here, and we'll place that one there. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm really nervous. Well, let's see how well you get. So, okay, there's a match. And wow, perfect match. Unbelievable. Anthony, you are amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you,
so
Tommy.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Unbelievable. And now back to Kevin.
Thank you, Tommy. I told you not to do those, because I have to follow you now.
Yeah, but I did cut one out. So.
You did indeed. You did indeed. Right, so that's just about all we've got time for. Just down to me to close the show. And I'm going to call my good friend and just have you look in the gallery. Make sure Jill is still with us. Is Jill still with us? Yes. Wave your hand, Jill. So, Stuart, do you want to bring Jill on over? Yay! Zoom allowed it, Jill. It didn't play out like it sometimes does.
My magic.
Yeah, it is. Jill, we're going to do two little things. The first one is just with you, and the second one you're going to appoint some helpers to help as well. So we're going to go to table cam. Hey.
Ooh.
Jill, pack of cards and some bits of paper. I'm going to write a prediction. Oh, excuse me, but it is, just have you look, it's 30 degrees in my little studio here, so I'm a little bit warm and a little bit, my fingers are a bit sweaty, but I'm going to write a prediction here just for you. Now, the most important thing about this prediction is the wording, and I'll explain that as we go along. Okay. Okay, so Jill, there is our little prediction. That was just a blank piece to make it a little bit firmer for me to write on. Okay, so now we'll move on. Pack of cards. I'm just going to mix up like this. Okay, so they are nicely mixed. And then I'm going to give them a little shuffle as well. And then you're going to make some choices. Okay, and the important thing here is the word choice. Yeah, which is totally going to be your choice. That's really important.
Okay.
So I'm going to start dealing down cards in a pile. You can say stop and we'll take a chunk of them or chunk from the middle, and we just want random cards on the table here. So
Stop.
yeah, do you want some from the middle, from the bottom? Where would you like them, Jill? Back from the top?
Next four. The next
four, those ones there. Okay, yep. And we'll do this for about a third or two-thirds, about half the pack. So where do you want the next ones from?
Oh, about three in the middle, where your thumb is.
Yeah, about three in the middle there. Three of those in the middle. Okay, some more.
Oh, where your thumb is again.
Where my thumb is again there.
Six.
Two from there. And let's just do another chunk of them. Reasonable sized chunk.
There, 6.
Bear with me. I was just the gallery person just came in. Six from the top or 6 from the middle?
No, 6 from where your thumb is.
6 from where the thumb is.
Not the top two, but another.
Not the top 2. I'll move those to the bottom. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So that firstly, those were your choices. Yeah. I'm going to deal these into 2 piles, and you're going to choose a pile for yourself. And again, the wording here is really important. You're going to choose a pile for yourself. So I'm not going to try and use any wordplay. Whichever pile you choose is your pile. So Jill, do you want to choose the pile to my left, or do you want to choose the pile to my right?
The right.
You want to choose that pile?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely sure. That is your
yeah.
choice. Yeah.
Yes.
So you're not going to choose this pile.
No.
You can change your mind right up until the last second. You can change your mind. Yeah. This pile is not yours. Yeah.
No.
Okay. So this is the pile that you chose. And what I wrote on the bit of paper here was, you will not choose the 8 of hearts.
Oh.
So let's have a look what you chose. And that was your choice of pile. You chose the Jack of Clubs. It's not the 8 of hearts, but it's not a brilliant trick because there are a lot of other cards, you would think. So I had a 1 in 50, well, a 52 to 1 chance that you wouldn't choose the 8 of hearts. But if you'd chosen the other pile, and I told you you could choose it, that was the card, the pile you chose, you would in fact have chosen the 8 of hearts. But not only that, Jill, you mixed and matched all the cards, and all the ones you disposed of were also 8 of hearts. All the ones that were left in that pile were 8 of hearts, and every other card was an 8 of hearts, but you chose the only card that was not an 8 of hearts.
I get better and better.
You do, don't you? As we've always said, this is turning into the Jill show. Jill, we need 2 people to help with this, and you'll understand why in a second. So, can you see the gallery?
Oh, hang on.
And if not, let's have, not Paul, as he's been in it before. Let's have 2 people to stick their hands up.
Robina. Is
Robina, Robina, do you want to help with this one? Yeah, okay. Hopefully, yes, lovely.
Oh,
and let's choose one more. So who else?
Oh,
Bruce. Bruce has got his hand up. Yeah, Bruce. Okay. And Jill, I'm just going to, if I type something into the chat privately to you, you can see it. You're on your iPad, but you get the chat, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So in a minute, I will type something for you just privately to you. Okay. Which you'll just keep in your head, because I'm going to tell you about my superpower. I've never shared this before. Well, I have. I'm lying. I'm going to tell you about my superpower. This happened a couple of years ago. I acquired this superpower. I had a little car crash and somebody shunted me from behind at the traffic lights, had a visual flash, went to hospital, came out with this superpower.
Wow.
It is a totally useless superpower, by the way.
Oh, no.
But it's great fun to play with, okay? Because what it enables me to do is, Jill, what you're going to do is just going to reach into the screen with a finger, and I'll explain what's going to happen. So go like that with a finger.
Can't find it. Oh.
There we go. Okay, don't do that. Well, you'll ask you to do that in a second. That's part of what this superpower allows me to do. So what this superpower allows me to do is find something in somebody's brain that they don't know they know. But it's very specific. Very, very specific. Have you ever seen the film Battle Royale?
No.
Well, it's a Japanese film, and it's about a bunch of school kids put on a remote island with bangles around their necks that explode, and it's the last one standing. They have to do various tasks, and the last one standing. So we're not doing that. But my superpower allows me to create a virtual game of Battle Royale, but only with Disney heroines.
Oh,
So, and let me just show you what we've got here. I've got some flashcards on which I have written a list of Disney heroines, or those are the blank ones. Okay, so I originally, when I was doing this, I used to say Disney princesses, but I got told off by kids for saying some of those aren't princesses; they're just heroines. So what have we got? We've got Belle, we've got Moana, we've got Ariel, we've got Jasmine, we've got Snow White, we've got Elsa, we've got Pocahontas, and we've got Aurora, and they're blank on the other side, so we can't tell who they are. I will put them there. Jill, now this is the important bit. You're going to reach into the screen like this, and when our fingers touch, I will instantly know the winner of this battle, which is deep inside your brain. The moment I don't know it. So here we go. Jill. Oh, felt that. Yeah. Always hurts me more than it hurts you. It's not fair. So Jill, I'm just going to go into the chat, and I'm going to send you who you think the winner is going to be. And then just read this, but don't say anything. Just hold this in your mind. Yeah.
you know, I
Okay.
can read.
Okay, so tell me, let me just make sure that this works. Jill's iPad, send. So hopefully only you can see what I've sent you there, Jill. Yeah? Okay. So this is what your inner brain told me is going to be the winner of this battle. And how we proceed with this battle is we take all the, I'm going to do it with the overhead camera actually, so we get a better view. I'm going to just give these all a good mix up. And Jill, you and the others are going to help us kill princesses.
Oh.
I'll explain how it works. Let's make sure these are all in shot. Move the mouse. Come over here. There we go. So I'll explain how it works. So we'll take it in turns to select a couple of these heroines, and then somebody will decide which one to kill. So I'll show you what we're going to do. So say, for example, I select those two. Jill, who do you want to kill? The left-hand one or the right-hand one?
Left hand.
The left-hand one. Let's see who you've killed. Oh, right at the beginning, right off the cuff, you killed Snow White. Jill, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, terrible.
Absolutely,
Feels
absolutely
so
terrible.
wicked.
So, Jill, nominate either. I'll tell you what. We'll use both Bruce and Robina. Okay, so Bruce, I'm just going to go around like this, and you just say stop wherever you want me to stop, and we'll stop.
There.
There
Left.
or back?
Little left.
Was it that one?
That one.
That one there. Okay.
Already upset because Snow White's gone.
and Robin. We'll do a round robin.
Stop.
Stop there?
To
Or
your
was it the
right.
one before?
That one, yes.
That one there. Jill, kill another princess.
Left.
Left.
Sinister.
Moana.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Oh,
it's my turn to select a couple. I'm just going to be really easy and choose the closest to me. Those two. Bruce, who should we kill? Left or right?
Right.
Right. Pocahontas. Pocahontas is dead to us.
She's buried across the river from where I live.
I'm going to mix these up again. Okay. So, Jill, I'll get you to choose two. So, Jill, I'll just move my hands around for the first one. Just say stop when you want, wherever you want the first one to be. Yeah.
No, the one above that one.
The one above that one.
Yes.
That way.
Yes.
Okay, that one. Okay,
Yes.
so that's one. And carry on.
And the one next to it, nearer to you at the top.
That one or that one?
Yeah.
That one there.
No, the other one.
That one.
Yes.
Okay. Robin, kill a princess. Left or right?
Left.
Left. Elsa. Elsa is now out of the game. Her collar exploded. Poor Elsa. It was horrible. Okay, so we're getting close to the finale here. So let's just go for the two. We'll go for the two end ones. Bruce, kill a princess. Left or right?
Left.
Left. That one there.
Yes.
Aurora. Aurora is dead. Okay, it is my turn to kill one. So choose one of my two. Which one do you want? One of my two, Jill? 1, 2, or 3?
On your left.
My left or your left?
Your left.
My left is one of them. And the other one?
Your right.
My right. Those two there.
Yeah.
Now, it was going to be my turn, but I'm going to give my turn to Robin, which Robin hasn't had many goes. So, Robin, kill, left or right?
Left.
Left. I'm scared. Jasmine.
No.
Oh, we have 2 left. I just got to move the other camera without doing anything sneaky. Actually, if I bring them up there, you can see I'm not doing anything sneaky. There we go. So, Jill, final decision. Which one do I drop to the table? The one in my left or the one in my right?
Left.
I dropped the one in my left to the table. Let's see who we have killed. Belle. We've killed Belle.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. So there is one final princess or heroine left. Jill, what was the name I pulled out of your head right at the beginning?
Ariel.
Ariel it was.
Oh.
My superpower wins again. I don't know how it works, but it's just what it does. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. That's just about wraps it up for the evening. What a fantastic night we've had. The wonderful Adam Fisher, Robina, Michael Kelly, the absolutely incredible Scott Wells chatting about his life and magic in general. The terrific Roy Stone, the wonderful Rolf from Germany, Olie McManus, and the birthday lad, Tommy Burnett, who I hate because he's so good, and myself. And that's it for tonight. Everybody in Facebook land, good night. I will get rid of you. You're gone. And we will stop the recording. Oh, yes, of course, Jill, the Jill Show. Fantastic work, Jill, tonight.